told me I should fight back. They don't like that. Just know if you rock the boat, you better have a life raft. Woo!
What up, everybody in the YTBC? Right now, I just want to address Keith Thurmn and his comment about Terrence Crawford, basically saying that Terrence Crawford is barely a champion. Before I get started, I've always been known as a Keith Thurmn fan. I've always supported the man, not just on my videos, but financially. I've paid money to go see his fights before, so it's not just lip service. But I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't call out Keith Thurmn for this. I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't criticize him for making such an asinine statement. Now, at the end of the day, just because I criticize Keith Thurmn doesn't mean that I'm no longer a Keith Thurmn fan. I'm still a Keith Thurmn fan. But I think it's an asinine statement. I'm not going to co-sign on it just because I'm a fan of Keith Thurmn. Here's the thing. You can't say that Terrence Crawford is barely a champion when, one, he has 2 more fights than you do in this year than you do in the last 2.5 years. So you can't say that he's barely a champion given that fact. You also can't say that he's barely a champion because other than Usyk, he is the last undisputed champion that we've had. Now, Keith Thurmn, I always pushed for you to become undisputed. That is one of the things that I always wanted out of you. That's something that I had hoped you'd be successful in. But the fact of the matter is, you will never be undisputed if you don't get your ass in that ring. Now, I understand injuries happen. I understand you got married. I understand you have a life outside of boxing. I mean, you should. But eventually, if you were to be considered one of the best, you need to be active. You need to be fighting. Now, before you went on this hiatus, you weren't fighting enough. Now you're not fighting at all. And then you have the goal, the audacity, to say that Terrence Crawford, who has become undisputed at 140 pounds, got a title, first fight at 147 pounds, has already defended that title once. You got the nerve and the gall to say that that guy is barely a champion? The guy that so many people have ranked as #1 pound for pound as a champion? You, Keith Thurmn, who has not had a fight since you beat Danny Garcia like 2 years ago? You are going to say this? It's rich coming from you. And by rich, I mean, it just doesn't make sense that you would say that. Keith Thurmn, I always said that he was the man at 147 pounds. That was before Terrence Crawford decided to move up. Now, I am a bigger fan of Keith Thurmn than I am of Terrence Crawford. However, if I'm being honest with myself, I say Terrence Crawford beats Keith Thurmn, especially right now. And I would love for Keith Thurmn to prove me wrong on this, but you got to fight first, man. You got to get your ass in the ring before you can do that. I was excited to hear that you was returning to the ring on August 4th. That day came and gone, and Keith Thurmn is still nowhere to be found. Well, I shouldn't say he's nowhere to be found. He's found talking trash about Terrence Crawford, who is doing what he's supposed to be doing. So I'm rooting for Keith Thurmn. But right now, at this moment in time, when it comes to the 147-pound division, my dog in the fight, my pony in the race, my Avenger in the Infinity War is Terrence Crawford. So, tell my subscribers, anybody who watches my videos, or if you just so happen to stumble on this video, feel free to let me know what you think about the comments that Keith Thurmn has made. You have a wonderful and blessed day. Peace.
Undefeated.